going on, guys? Mike McFarland here, the Lake Fork Guide. It is Wednesday, April 14th. I'm going to give you a rundown for Lake Fork. And let's do as always and go to the board. That's one thing out here. So we talked last on Monday. Lake was 40262 and falling. Well, they stabilized the lake right there. And as of last night, we had some more rain and another cold front. We've been having cold fronts now since November. Almost 6 full months of cold fronts. It's getting old. It's getting really old. But the lake came up just a little bit. All right. Water clarity stayed the same, 1 to 2 foot. Temperatures stayed the same, 65 to 67 in the main lake. Backwaters are more like 70s. Okay. So I did go into a backwater today, the back of Williams Creek, and it was 70 degrees. So in essence, we're still roller coasting. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Blows from the south for 2 days. Blows from the north for 1 day. Blows from the east. Blows from the west. It invariably has been the most confusing and toughest season that I've ever seen fishing, period. Here's the thing. We're getting a hold of fish. We're catching fish. Not a lot of fish. When we get them, they tend to be the right ones and some good sized fish. But what I've learned in the past several weeks, the first thing is I want to talk to you about the 230 hours of below 22 degrees and a -4 low. It was just too much time being so cold that temperature, that cold water sank so deep into the water column that we're still extremely behind. There are a ton of fish that are up, but there are also a ton of fish that haven't even thought of coming up. Okay. And here's my best little rundown for you. If you're going to fish a lake right now, the best thing you can do is commit to something, meaning there's fish on beds. Okay. There's a frog bite. There's a square bill bite on a minimum shad spawn. There's the big swim bait bite. You can start to begin fishing in the 8 to 12 feet with jigs and Texas rig worms. And there's some post-spawn fish that are even coming out. There's a wide variety of ways to catch them. The east side of the lake is ahead of the west side. So everything on the east side is ahead. I'm hearing rumors of a little bit more of a shad spawn and some schooling bass over on the east side. I'm seeing definitely gizzard shad spawning, blue herons stacking and getting all the food they want, but hardly any bass with it. That's one of the most confusing things I've ever seen. I have never in my entire life seen blue herons stacked on a shad spawn, getting all the food they want, and there's no bass with it. Okay? The reasoning is, it's starting to make sense now, that cold water reached such a depth that even though the shallow water warmed back up, the main body down deep did not. So that penetrated so deep and it pushed those fish farther out than ever before. And they got colder than ever before. And they just really have not recovered from it. Now, they're not messed up. Fish are never messed up. They're survivalists. I talked to Randy Ofield last night. He said he's 38 years, he's never seen anything like this. The correlation there to somebody like an Ofield that's been here forever. And man, I hail him like I did Mark Pack. Incredible Lake Fork guide. And he's not confused, but he keeps saying, I've never seen this before. Never seen this before. Well, you know what else we ain't seen? We ain't seen 230 hours, 7 days of those kinds of freeze. Neither have the fish. Neither has the lake. So that kind of weaves it together for me. We're still paying the piper for that awful, dreadful week of cold. And we continually, all the way through April now, are having cold fronts. Folks, at lunch today, when we came in for lunch, I put more clothing back on to go back out for the afternoon. You know, normally in Texas, right around Easter, we get our last little flurry, and that's it. We're not done. There's 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 10 more days of nothing but winds, cloud cover, and fronts. Never, ever seen it before. So it's not the end of the world, but it's not open up like Lake Fork usually is. So I look back in my pictures. And last year, by this time, we were already throwing the vixen. We were already catching topwater fish. Not happening. But here's what I want to focus on. Frog bite, for example. There is a frog bite out there. All right. if you want to catch them, you need to stay with it. So if you go throw the frog for an hour, and then the square bill on the shad and the blue herons for an hour, and then the swim bait for an hour, and then you maybe go chase something else and you pitch a jig on some shell beds for an hour, you're probably going to zero throughout the day if you keep changing, trying to solve something that can't be solved. Your best bet, Mickey Ellis the other night when we did our little live deal, he said this: God gave me 2 butt cheeks, 2 ass cheeks, because I'm not supposed to do anything half-ass. All right? That's what you need to do. If you're going to throw the 316 rising sun, then stay with it all day long. Throw it in the right places, commit to it, and you'll probably find that you're going to have 2, 3, 4, 5 bites by the end of the day, and maybe more. If you're going bed fishing, commit to it. If you're going to chase a shad spawn, commit to it. And that right now is the difference maker. All right? That's how you can put fish in the boat. You got to stay with it, and you have to grind. All right? Really appreciate you guys. Bear with us. Is the other thing, and there's so many fish normally by now that would be post-spawn, and those fish regroup, they reschool, and they begin to actually feed. Remember that spawning fish do not eat. Their digestive system is shut off. This is why the bass takes your bait from the nest, swims out, spits it out. Their digestive system was working. They just eat the bait, swallow it, say thank you for bringing me free food. All right, they take it and spit it out. Their digestive system is shut off. When we get this spawn round behind us, the new moon was Monday, and the full moon coming, this lake is going to fire up. So I really see the pros coming here. They're going to show us some cool things. As I said before, they're going to do a lot of unorthodox things. They're going to look for fish that we don't look for. They're going to look for any scoreable bass. I do not go targeting 2 and 3 pound bass on Lake Fork. I just don't. I look for the slots and the 10 pounders. And they're going to look for those as well. But I really think that out of 100 of the best anglers, they're going to showcase a few things. They're going to open up some ideas for us. That'll help as well. Having guys of that caliber comb out the lake with different intentions. Pros competing to win competition are going to have a complete different approach than 99 out of 100 guides taking clients fishing. Okay, so looking forward to having the elites here. I'm hoping that our very own Mr. Leo Ludise doesn't get too much of the guiding in his head as he guides here on this lake, and he can fish this with his skills, and we might see him take home another trophy. I hope so, Mr. Ludise, because you are the bomb, and we enjoy following you and look forward to the future and watch what you do. So bring it home right here at Lake Fork for us. Show us how that frog works, will you? But anyways, guys, thank you, man. I thank you all so much. I think I say this every time, but it's really the true meat and potatoes of my heart. When I run into you out there and you say hello to me, and you thank me for what I do, you mean so much more to me than I could ever mean to you, because you're the viewer. You're just like my clients. Without you, I'm nothing. So I truly throw it back at you. If there was likes for me to give you guys, I'd be giving you guys so many thumbs up. So I'll give you a great big smile and tell you thank you, thank you, thank you. Keep giving me the thumbs up. It's really cool. Keep commenting below. I appreciate that so much. Ask the questions. Maybe even give me some topic ideas if you choose. I may or may not get to them. But one last time, thank you so much for following. Hit the subscribe button if you're enjoying it. I'm Michael McFarland, giving you a little Lake Fork rundown for Wednesday, April 14th. And we'll see you again Friday for a rundown over this weekend. All right? Thanks, man.